Joining me right now on set, attorney Misty Maris and chairman of the National Bar Association, PAC, Scott Bolden.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Starting with you, do you think that there's any chance that they will abide by this pick, whoever it is?
I think there's absolutely going to be a fight, but Trish, there's going to be no choice in that we're going to have to abide by a pick. You can't just change the rules of the Constitution willy-nilly because you don't think your party's getting its way. President Trump will have a pick. The Senate will confirm that pick, and that will reflect what the American people want. That's the process, and that's what we're going to see happen. Will there be a fight? There absolutely will be a fight. But at some point, a justice will be confirmed, and it will be one of these four.
Aren't you undermining your system of government, Scott Bolden, if you say, okay, we hate this president so much, we don't want to give him the right to make this pick?
Well, I'm not in that bucket of supporters of, as a Democrat, that he doesn't have the right to make the pick. I think he has every right to make the pick, and I think Democrats on the Senate side have every right to fight this nomination if they believe that the nominee will not be a good Supreme Court justice, or that they believe someone else who would not be hard right or hard conservative should be there based on their political views. The fight isn't about whether he's got the right. The fight is going to be whether you can get this nomination, and we're at a 50 to 48 or 49 hit in the Senate, and with McCain, the McCain factor, as well as Murkowski and our main senator, you've got some pretty righteous arguments to make. The Dems have to hold the conservative Dems who Trump won in their states, and the Republicans have to hold their moderate senators in place, and then there'll be a confirmation. But we're a long way from confirmation given those political dynamics.
Let's talk about who would be a more difficult appointee. I mean, are there, we've talked there about Amy Barrett before, you and I, Misty, and the criticism of her is that she is too Catholic, she's too religious, and the fear is that she might overturn Roe versus Wade because of some of those personal convictions. What are your thoughts on that?
I think she's absolutely the one that will have the toughest battle before the Senate. I think that, first of all, she's only been on the bench for a year, so there's not going to be a lot of information about, regardless of her own personal beliefs, how that comes out in the judiciary. So that could absolutely be a problem. We heard reports that Mitch McConnell was warning Trump about that she might not be the one that's going to slide through. So maybe that should be part of his equation. She's certainly qualified. She's an academic, but she would likely face the strongest opposition.
Okay, so she would be the toughest, and you can understand, politically speaking, Scott Bolden, do you think he wants to get this through as fast as possible so that he has that another win or feather in his cap as he sees it? And so you want to pick someone who, the Susan Collins of the world are not going to get so upset about?
I think Susan Collins and Murkowski are key, and I think if he were smart, getting their approval, pre-approval, or at least some sign from them would be really important. I think all of them are going to be hard because this is all about Roe v. Wade, real or perceived. It's all about Obamacare, and it's all about Donald Trump. And because we are in these buckets, the Republicans in one bucket, the Democrats in another, there are not many moderates who are coming across the aisle, and so it's going to be a fight because he will redefine. This will be the first time in 25 years that a moderate or a swing vote on the Supreme Court will be replaced by someone who clearly takes a conservative view of the law, not just politically conservative, but a conservative view of the law, which is really what's at issue here.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be politically conservative. I mean, if you have a conservative view of the law, you have a conservative interpretation of the Constitution, and I actually have a great amount of respect for that because let's not forget how smart our founding fathers were and how they anticipated a lot of the things that we deal with today. And as a result, we have a Constitution that should be thought about, I think, in its truest form. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Trish, all of these candidates, all four of them, we have to remember, are incredibly smart, brilliant people. We may not agree with their decisions, but they're all very capable. The real issue, though, is will the gloves come off in the Senate this time? whoever the nominee is. Are they going to be asked directly about Roe v. Wade, or are they going to be asked directly about Obamacare? And is the Senate going to insist, whether it's Democrats or Republicans, are they going to insist that the answers not be non-answers and that the questions be muted?
Well, I would think Democrats would do that, right, Misty? I mean, let's not forget Roe v. Wade. It's one of those, hot button, divisive issues that serves a political purpose. And I imagine that a lot of Democrats will want to achieve a political purpose during the hearings and the questioning.
Of course, and you're going to hear those questions being thrown around. But a justice, somebody who's going to be nominated for Supreme Court justice, isn't going to answer hypothetical questions about what they would find under certain different variable circumstances, because everything's going to change depending on what case comes their way.
Yeah,
so we're going to see what happened during Gorsuch. It was the same thing. He was not answering these hypothetical, absolutely overturn that, or I'm looking to do this. You're going to be talking about their credentials, their background, and their history on the bench, and that will be the focus.
But what's really key is what I'm saying is that this hearing, because so much is at stake, real or perceived, is that the questions are going to be more direct from Democratic senators and perhaps a few Republicans. They're going to ask directly, probably, what's your position on Roe v. Wade? What's your position on Obamacare? And the question is, are they going to answer, or will the Senate Judiciary Committee, will they be made to answer those questions because so much is at stake? We'll have to wait and see.